Hi, this is Jacob Klinger, your PennLive Pittsburgh Steelers beat reporter, coming at you live from Pittsburgh on day 8 of NFL free agency, where the Steelers haven't really made too many moves. They signed Justin Hunter this week, wide receiver who's a fast, tall target option, gives them insurance for if things don't pan out with Martavis Bryant, or Sammy Coates, or Darius Hayward-Bay, or Kobe Hamilton. He may be preferred over some of those guys. We'll certainly find out. That's really the only outside signing the Steelers have made so far. They locked in Landry Jones. They brought back David Johnson. They did a bunch of tidying up before free agency opened. The closest they came to doing anything else was apparently they took a look at Drake Kirkpatrick, got outbid, or he just chose to stay in Cincinnati. And then earlier this week they had Dante Hightower in. The New England Patriots, two-time Pro Bowl, two-time Super Bowl winning linebacker, was here for several hours on Tuesday, and left the building without a deal being made. The next day, the Patriots reportedly upped their offer a little bit, and he went there. I also saw elsewhere that the Jets had concern about his physical, but the Jets try to make a lot of plays this time of year and often lose out for reasons that have shown themselves on the field. So Dante Hightower not coming to the Steelers as is. It looks like Pittsburgh, at the whatever price point they were negotiating at, was content to have Vince Williams stay and be the presumptive starter, or draft over the guy at inside linebacker alongside Ryan Shazier. I would be surprised if the Steelers did go and try and replace Lawrence Timmons with a draft pick immediately. They have Vince Williams on backup money, something like 3 years, $5.5 million. But he's a really well-liked guy and well-respected guy in the locker room, and he started as a rookie several years ago. So, in one of those sort of intangible moves that we can't always, from an outsider looking at a depth chart, understand, I don't see the Steelers going in and getting a first-round inside linebacker to replace Lawrence Timmons. I think Dante Hightower was the shot that they took. They didn't get it. They also lost out on Devon House, a cornerback, earlier this week, I should say. He also visited, but agreed to terms with the Green Bay Packers while he was in the upstairs lobby of the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. I was there. I was looking around the corner. I saw it reported by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's, one of their beat reporters. I looked around the corner, and there's Devon House on the phone, seemingly with his agent, agreeing to terms with the Packers. And the Steelers are at a point now in free agency where, if they want cornerback help, the next best guy out there is their own in Ross Cockrell. He's a restricted free agent. They offered him a 4th-round tender, which is worth a little bit less than $2 million, $1.79, somewhere around there. And any offer that he gets elsewhere, the Steelers will have the opportunity to meet. But it's at that point now where the Steelers, if they want to make a splash in free agency, it's going to be more of a kick in a puddle. Which may well suit them, though it is worth noting that they have $19.85 million to spend under the cap right now. And it'll cost them a little bit to prorate out their draft picks when they get them at the end of April. But they have more money than they've ever had to spend before in free agency. That being said, Kevin Colbert, the general manager, noted at the NFL Combine that because teams have so much more money to spend in free agency this year, the cap rose by about $12 million around the league. There's inflation on, how much these guys are really worth. So, not that free agency is ever a particularly good deal. You're not getting a lot of bargains out there. This year is especially bad because so many teams can retain their best players. So if you're going to get a guy, an unrestricted free agent, who's a really top-of-the-line, day one, no doubt starter, borderline Pro Bowler, you're going to overpay for him. And so the Steelers have sort of sat back, as they often do, and they're kind of looking at that second and third wave of free agents, where they're filling out maybe the second line on a depth chart. And they also see a really deep draft. They have 8 picks, and they have an extra 3rd-round pick, which Kevin Colbert said would absolutely, potentially affect their free agency. So the Steelers are operating in a way that seems to indicate they don't believe there's any one player that's going to put them over the top. They're not spending like it. They're keeping things pretty close to the vest and certainly the pocket. And that's kind of just where they are a week into free agency, just sort of continuing to tidy up some odds and ends. It'll be interesting to see what happens with D'Angelo Williams. He's been their backup running back quite successfully the past 2 years. Missed a big stretch at the end of the season with Le'Veon Bell out. Had some knee issues. He could retire. He could be signed elsewhere. He's not one of those premier free agents that's going to be, plucked up in the first week. We could find out if his career's over any day now, if he so chooses. But there's no word on that as of right now, and the Steelers can certainly afford him. So